where the earth breathes in color. There are places in this world where the earth seems to breathe more deeply, where stone and water, forest and sky conspire to remind us of something ancient within ourselves. Thailand is one such place. Here, limestone cliffs rise like the spines of sleeping dragons, and rivers carve their way through time with the patience of monks. Rainforests older than memory hum with unseen life, and waterfalls descend in sacred tears, each a hymn to gravity and grace. In these landscapes, myth is not a story we tell, it is a presence we feel. This journey is not a travelogue. It is a pilgrimage through the living geometry of Thailand's natural sanctuaries. From the emerald stillness of Phang Nga Bay to the thunderous vales of Tilo Su. Along the way, we witness not only the beauty of the land, but the resilience of its people, the rhythm of its rituals, and the quiet power of its transformations. Let this be an offering to the earth, to the spirit of place, and to the sacred act of seeing. Phang Nga Bay Marine National Park. Phang Nga Bay is a sanctuary sculpted by time and tide, a 400 square kilometer expanse where limestone karsts rise like ancient monoliths from the Andaman Sea. These towering formations, some over 300 meters tall, are veined with sea caves and hollowed chambers, accessible only by canoe through narrow tidal passages. Within these hidden lagoons, the world hushes. Mangroves, the oldest guardians of the coast, root themselves in brackish silence, their branches cradling kingfishers and hornbills. The bay is home to over 28 species of mangrove, coral reefs, and seagrass beds, a living mandala of biodiversity. At its heart lies Koh Tapu, the James Bond Island, a needle of stone that pierces the sky, made famous by film, but revered by locals as a place of elemental power. Beneath the surface, dugongs and finless porpoises glide through the shallows, reminders that this is not just a landscape, but a living mythos. Similan Islands. 70 kilometers off the coast of Phang Nga, the Similan Islands float like a celestial archipelago, 11 islands, each a jewel in the Andaman Sea. The name Similan comes from the Yawi word for 9. Though 2 more islands were later added to this marine sanctuary, these islands are famed for their surreal underwater topography, coral gardens, granite boulders, and reef walls that plunge into the abyss. Whale sharks and manta rays drift through the currents like spirits of the deep. On land, the beaches are blindingly white, and the forests hum with the calls of Nicobar pigeons and monitor lizards. Some islands are closed to protect nesting sea turtles, and others are accessible only by boat, a measure of reverence for their fragility. The Similans are not merely a destination, they are a threshold between worlds, where the visible and invisible dance in turquoise light. Khao Sok National Park. Khao Sok is a rainforest older than the Amazon, a remnant of Gondwana land's ancient breath. Its 739 square kilometers are cloaked in mist and mystery, where limestone cliffs rise like the vertebrae of a sleeping dragon. At its center lies Chao Lan Lake, a man-made reservoir that feels primordial, its emerald waters dotted with floating bungalows and karst spires. The forest teems with life, Malayan tapirs, gibbons, hornbills, and the elusive Rafflesia caryi, the world's largest flower, blooming like a blood-red oracle. Here, the air is thick with the scent of wild ginger and rain-soaked earth. The lake is best explored by longtail boat, gliding through fog and silence, where each bend reveals a new cathedral of stone and shadow. Khao Sok is not a park, it is a living scripture written in leaf and limestone. Erawan Falls. In the Tenasserim Hills of Kanchanaburi, Erawan Falls descends in 7 sacred tiers, each a step in a ritual ascent. The water is a luminous turquoise, flowing over smooth limestone into pools that invite both reflection and immersion. The top tier is said to resemble the head of Erawan, the 3-headed elephant of Hindu mythology, a symbol of divine strength and cosmic order. The trail winds through bamboo groves and deciduous forest, crossing footbridges and mossy stones. Fish nibble at your feet in the lower pools, while the upper tiers require a more meditative climb. The falls are busiest during Songkran, when water becomes both weapon and blessing. But in the quiet hours, Erawan is a place of healing, a cascade of clarity in a forest of forgetting. Khao Yai National Park. Thailand's first national park and a UNESCO World Heritage Site, Khao Yai is a vast sanctuary of over 2,000 square kilometers spanning 4 provinces. Its terrain shifts from open grasslands to dense evergreen forests, home to over 350 species of birds and 70 species of mammals, including wild elephants, gibbons, and the elusive dole. The park's waterfalls, Hiu Narak and Hiu Suat, thunder through the jungle, their mist rising like incense. Observation towers offer glimpses of sambar deer grazing at dusk, while night safaris reveal the glowing eyes of civets and porcupines. Khao Yai is a place of thresholds between day and night, wild and human, seen and unseen. It is a reminder that wilderness is not a place apart, but a mirror of our own untamed spirit. Tam Lot Cave. In the northern province of Mae Hong Son, Tam Lot Cave stretches over 1,600 meters through Permian limestone, carved by the Nam Lang River. The cave is entered by bamboo raft, guided by lantern light and the echo of dripping water. Inside, three vast chambers, Column Cave, Doll Cave, and Coffin Cave, reveal stalactites like frozen lightning and teakwood coffins believed to be over 1,000 years old. These remnants of the Lawa people speak of a time when the cave was not just shelter, but shrine. Bats and swifts swirl above, and catfish glide through the subterranean river. Tam Lot is a place of echoes, of water, of ancestors, of the earth's slow breath. Thi Lo Su Waterfall. Hidden deep within the Umphang Wildlife Sanctuary, Thi Lo Su is a revelation. Thailand's largest and tallest waterfall, cascading 250 meters down a limestone cliff in a segmented veil of white. The journey to reach it is arduous, a winding road through the Dona Range, followed by a trek through dense forest. But the reward is profound. The falls roar with the voice of the earth, their spray catching the sun in rainbows. The surrounding jungle is alive with orchids, butterflies, and the calls of unseen birds. In the Karen language, Thi Lo Su means black waterfall. Though its waters are anything but dark, they shimmer with the memory of monsoon and mountain. To stand before it is to feel the pulse of the land, ancient and unyielding. Mekong River. Mekong River. The Mekong is the lifeblood of Southeast Asia, a 4,250-kilometer artery that flows from the Tibetan Plateau through 6 nations before spilling into the South China Sea. In Thailand, it forms the northeastern border, winding past temples, rice paddies, and fishing villages. Its waters are both giver and taker, nourishing crops, shaping cultures, and occasionally rising in flood. The river is sacred to many. In Laos and Thailand, it is called Mai Nam Kong, Mother of Waters. At night, mysterious fireballs rise from its depths, a phenomenon still unexplained, yet deeply revered. The Mekong is not just a river, it is a teacher, a witness, a song that has been sung for millennia. Thailand celebrates Pride Month with vibrant, inclusive, and deeply meaningful festivities that span the entire country. And 2025 has been especially historic. With the legalization of same-sex marriage in January, Thailand became the first South Asian nation to do so, and this year's Pride celebrations reflect that monumental shift. Bangkok, the beating heart of Thai pride. Bangkok's Pride Festival is now one of the largest in Asia, drawing over 300,000 attendees in 2025. The city transforms into a kaleidoscope of color and celebration throughout June. The Bangkok Pride Parade, held under the theme Born This Way, stretches from the National Stadium to Ratchaprasong, with rainbow flags billowing over Ramaboy Road. The parade features drag queens, dancers, marching bands, and activists, a jubilant procession of visibility and love. Beyond the parade, the city hosts Drag Bangkok Festival at Park Paragon, Pride-themed art exhibitions like If Only It Is Seen at SAC Gallery, river cruises, rooftop parties, and community forums. Tea with Pride at the Peninsula, blending elegance with advocacy. Chiang Mai, Koh Samui, and beyond. Chiang Mai launched its colorful Pride Festival in late May with parades, concerts, and exhibitions that reflect the city's artistic soul. Koh Samui hosted the Pride Nation Samui International Festival under the theme Let's Join Pride Redies, culminating in a beachside parade and music festival on Chaweng Beach. We All Pride Thailand 2025. This year also marked the nationwide initiative We All Pride Thailand 2025, led by the Rainbow Sky Association of Thailand, RSAT. It's a collaboration between LGBTQ+ networks, youth groups, and civil society organizations across all provinces. The initiative's goals include creating safe, inclusive spaces for self-expression, promoting education and understanding of gender diversity, advocating for public policy reforms like gender recognition and healthcare access, empowering youth leadership in LGBTQ+ advocacy, a global beacon. Thailand's Pride Month is more than a celebration, it's a declaration. With government support, growing international recognition, and a commitment to hosting World Pride in 2030, Thailand is positioning itself as a global leader in LGBTQIA+ inclusion and celebration. Bangkok Pride Festival 2025, a city transformed. Bangkok becomes a living canvas of color and courage during Pride Month. The city's main event, the Bangkok Pride Parade, took place on June 1st, beginning at the National Stadium and flowing down Ramawarm Road to Central World Plaza. Over 300,000 people gathered, locals, expats, and travelers from across the globe, to witness a 2.5-kilometer procession of floats, dancers, drag performers, and activists. A 200-meter-long identity flag led the parade, symbolizing the spectrum of gender and sexual identities unified under one sky tube. But the celebration didn't end with the parade. The entire city pulsed with pride. Art exhibitions like If Only It Is Seen explored queer identity through sculpture, photography, and performance. Drag Bangkok Festival at Park Paragon featured Thailand's most iconic queens in a dazzling showcase of gender expression. Tea with Pride at the Peninsula offered a quieter, elegant space for intergenerational dialogue and reflection. Sham Center, Icon Siam, and Siam Paragon hosted the Celebration Right to Love, blending fashion, music, and activism in immersive installations. The atmosphere was electric, humid, yes, but radiant with joy. Attendees danced in the streets, waved rainbow fans, and embraced strangers. It was a declaration. We are here. We are many. We are loved. We All Pride Thailand 2025, a nationwide movement. Beyond Bangkok, Pride Month became a national celebration under the banner We All Pride Thailand 2025, a collaboration between the Rainbow Sky Association of Thailand, RSAT, youth groups, and civil society organizations. This initiative brought pride to every province, with events tailored to local cultures and communities. Key elements included community parades in Chiang Mai, Pattaya, Phuket, and Khon Kaen, workshops and panels on gender identity, mental health, and legal rights. Youth-led forums empowering the next generation of LGBTQ+ leaders. Mobile health clinics offering free HIV testing and gender-affirming care. Each region added its own flavor, from traditional Isaian music performances to Buddhist blessings for same-sex couples. The message was clear: Pride is not just urban, not just Western, not just performative. It is Thai, it is rooted, it is everywhere. A global beacon of inclusion. Thailand's Pride Month in 2025 is more than a celebration. It's a cultural renaissance. With same-sex marriage now legal, the country has positioned itself as a global leader in LGBTQIA+ rights and tourism. The government's support, including plans to host World Pride in 2030, has elevated Pride from a grassroots movement to a national symbol of progress. International visitors flock to Thailand, not just for the parties, but for the sense of safety, joy, and spiritual affirmation. As one attendee from Myanmar said, "Here, I feel like myself." Thailand is undergoing a dramatic reversal in its cannabis policy, a shift that's sending ripples through its economy, politics, and public health landscape. Here's a detailed breakdown of what's happened and what's coming. From decriminalization to restriction, a timeline. 2022, Thailand became the first country in Asia to decriminalize cannabis, removing it from the list of illegal narcotics. This led to a rapid boom in the cannabis industry, with over 18,000 dispensaries opening nationwide and projections of a $1.2 billion market by 2052. 2023-2024, despite the economic success, the industry remained largely unregulated. Concerns grew over youth access, public consumption, and cross-border smuggling. A 2024 poll showed most Thais favored reclassifying cannabis as a narcotic. 2025, the ruling Pheu Thai Party, which had campaigned on restricting cannabis to medical use, began implementing its agenda after its coalition partner, the pro-cannabis Phum Jai Thai Party, exited the government on June 4th. New restrictions in 2025. On June 23, 2025, Public Health Minister Somsakta closing reflection, the sacred thread. As we leave behind the misted cliffs and turquoise waters, the echo of waterfalls and the hush of ancient caves, we carry more than memories. We carry resonance. Thailand's landscapes are not merely beautiful. They are instructive. They teach us to listen, to slow down, to honor the unseen. In every mangrove root and mountain path, there is a thread, a sacred thread, that binds the human spirit to the living earth. It is woven through ritual, through resilience, through the quiet joy of being present. May this journey remind us that the sacred is not distant. It is here, in the breath of the forest, in the rhythm of the tide, in the stories we choose to tell. Absuthan signed a sweeping order that reclassifies cannabis buds as a controlled herb, bans recreational sales. Cannabis can now only be sold with a medical prescription, restricts sales to licensed dispensaries sourcing from certified farms, prohibits advertising, online sales, and vending machines, bans sales near sensitive areas like schools, temples, parks, and dormitories, limits prescriptions to 30-day supplies issued by licensed medical professionals. Violators face up to 1 year in prison and a 20,000 baht fine. What happens next? The new rules officially take effect on November 11, 2025. Cannabis flower buds, the part most used recreationally, are now tightly regulated. The government is preparing to reclassify cannabis as a Category 5 narcotic, which would fully criminalize recreational use again. Political and social fallout. The crackdown follows political infighting between Pheu Thai and Phumjethai and a broader conservative backlash. Critics argue the move is politically motivated and will devastate small cannabis businesses while favoring large corporate players. Activists like Chokwan Kitty Chapaka warn that the new rules will push cannabis back underground, reviving black markets and weakening public health oversight. Impact on tourism and industry. Thailand's cannabis liberalization had become a tourism magnet, especially in Bangkok, Chiang Mai, and island destinations. The rollback is expected to hurt tourism and farming sectors, particularly small-scale growers who lack the resources to meet the new licensing demands. Some dispensaries are already closing or shifting to CBD-only products, while others await further legal clarification. Closing reflection, the sacred thread. As we leave behind the misted cliffs and turquoise waters, the echo of waterfalls and the hush of ancient caves, we carry more than memories. We carry resonance. Thailand's landscapes are not merely beautiful, they are instructive. They teach us to listen, to slow down, to honor the unseen. In every mangrove root and mountain path, there is a thread, a sacred thread, that binds the human spirit to the living earth. It is woven through ritual, through resilience, through the quiet joy of being present. May this journey remind us that the sacred is not distant. It is here, in the breath of the forest, in the rhythm of the tide, in the stories we choose to tell. And so we return, not as tourists, but as witnesses,